Hi all, welcome back. Hopefully to another enjoyable on the streets video. I want to start up by thanking everybody that has responded for my call for help in funding and suggestions on how I can boost subscriptions and all. Some of you made comments though that rather derogatory, saying, "Oh, it isn't about the money," and blah blah blah. Look, I get frustrated at times because I work a great deal on this. I mean, it's virtually a 7-day a week, 12-hour a day job I've got for myself here. And when I see videos that, from some dumbwit that is sitting in his basement, not putting himself on the line and just basically giving his opinion on things, that has 100, 200,000 subscribers and gets 10,000 or 100,000 views every time he puts up, farts an opinion out there, gets a little frustrated. I'd like to know, again, I'd just like to know how you get there. Not because, I'm looking to become rich or anything. I would like to reach people, for one. I think that hearing other people's, the people on the street, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm just a conduit. The people on the street are the ones, to me, that are the stars here. They're the important ones. The messages and conversations that we have, I think, far exceed anything that I can add. And of course, any money I would gain from getting that kind of popularity would, of course, go all into making this working better. I would love eventually to take this show on the road, to go across country with it. But that would take, a good deal of money. I mean, I'd have to get, build a rig and, and I get a better vehicle to pull the damn thing. And so, I mean, it's sort of like a dream right now. But if I had 200,000 followers, or, I could do that. I mean, then I could get, enough orders in 1 week and make some money on this to where, because listen, I'm an old man. I don't require anything. I mean, I'm not buying clothes. I don't go out clubbing. I'm not spending money on women anymore. Oh, I wish I was. But, so, all of this goes into my work. So anything you give is greatly appreciated. And I want to thank very much all of you, the ones that have. No matter how little it is, it's greatly appreciated. And please don't apologize if you can't give anything. I know, that's okay. I mean, I'm only asking the people that can, if, you would. And if you can't give, then of course there are other ways to support me. You can share the videos and do the likes and all that good stuff. But and of course, bottom line, and probably the most important, I don't care if you're contributing in any other way, please pray for me. I have got a lot of demons in me, and I pray the Lord that, he drives them from me and puts me on the right path. But I'm sure it would help if you guys would help to have him put me on the right path and to protect me out there. Because I do, I put myself on the line. I'm not, and I don't worry about it. I just, something you can't worry about. Anyway, this is a good video. It's a high schooler from, a couple of high schoolers from Seattle, which we know is a liberal cesspool. And the good thing about this one is he's inquisitive. He's a young man, and is the lady that's with him. They're inquisitive. They, at least they're not caught up so much in the liberal mindset that he's not willing to listen and talk out his view of things with someone that he knows would be opposed. So hopefully I gave him something to think about. He says I did, so hopefully he will. And, you know, he won't go back to Seattle and get caught up in the popularity of things again. And, you know, he makes up his own mind. So without further ado, I want to get to this, and I want to thank you all again for stopping by. And please do like, share, subscribe again. And remember, it is a spiritual battle, and we are fighting it on a material plane. And so please give me those materials I need to keep fighting this. And thank you for your prayers and your support. God bless you.
Quick question. Do you remember what that kingdom is?
Okay.
What?
Governance of God.
Did you? What word did you say? Did you use the G word?
Yes.
All right. That's two for two, you remember.
I get better. After about 6 or 7 times, it starts coming around.
The guy out here pushing government finally remembers what the kingdom is.
Do it. Will he accept me now? Praise the Lord. How you doing? Where are you guys from?
Seattle.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I know.
Another liberal cesspool.
Yeah. Seattle's a very liberal city.
And how do you guys fare up there? Are you know?
I'm not 18 yet, but almost. But this last election, I didn't like either of the candidates, to be honest.
Yeah.
I may not have voted. I don't know. That the Democrat-Republican pissed was definitely kind of my.
Yeah, I think they ought to start the piss party. I think that would be a pretty big party.
Yeah.
Which I think would got him in, because I don't think he's any more Republican than Bernie Sanders was a Democrat.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm not a fan of Trump.
Why not?
Well, for one, the stuff he says is completely unfiltered, which can be considered a good thing. Like, and I see how that could be a good thing, right? But it also can incite violence.
Really?
I think so. I think Trump has brought to the forefront.
How would it incite violence?
Well, if people look at Trump, who's the president of the United States, saying racist stuff on Twitter.
What did he say that's racist?
Do you want me to pull up an example?
Sure. I'd be happy to. If you could. So you're still in school, I take it, or
junior in high school?
Junior in high school.
Wait, what's that about?
Well, you know, the big thing about Mueller for 2 years is that liberals were all worried about the Russians interfering with our elections, but you know, liberals want non-citizens to vote. Well, how does that figure? I mean, what if a bunch of Russians came over here illegally? Would they be allowed to vote then? I mean, how can you square having non-citizens vote and then worry about Russians interfering with our elections?
Well,
they're too counterproductive.
Yes, I agree with you, but I do think they're different in the sense that the Russian thing is like the Russian government is messing with us. Whereas,
but they always all governments have messed with us.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The thing was about collusion.
Yeah,
there was no collusion.
But the non-citizens is is more like individuals. I don't know. It feels.
Yeah, but why should non-citizens have a right to vote at all? They're not citizens. We can't go to Mexico and vote. I can't go to Mexico and vote in their elections. So why should...
And I don't necessarily think non-citizens should be able to vote, but I do think they should have a strong path to citizenship.
Well, they do. We are the most generous nation in the world. We allow...
But how does building a wall and
it keeps the illegal ones out. We accept more legal immigrants in this country than all the rest of the nations combined. We accept over 1 million legal immigrants every year. We're the most generous in the world. So all we're asking is for them to come in legally, and so the wall keeps out the illegal.
But I mean, don't you think they would come in illegally if they could? Or legally if they could? Like if we had a system.
Well, why don't they?
Well, clearly because they can't.
Why not?
I mean,
all they have to do is apply in their country for asylum if they want. Or they could show up at our border and say, I would like to come to your country and apply for citizenship. Here is what I can give you, or here's what I can do for you. And then they'd go through the process. As I said, we accept more legal immigrants. We're the most generous country in the world. We accept more legal immigrants than all the rest of the nations combined. We are absolutely generous. But the ones that come in illegally, without any papers, without any... We don't know who the hell they are.
Sure.
They could be Russians, they could be Chinese, they could be... They could be terrorists, we don't know. I mean, you have doors on your house, right?
Yes.
Why?
Sure, I mean... Yes, I see that.
Yeah, and why you have doors in your house for a reason. You keep people you don't want in out. Well, why should we have borders to keep the people we don't want in out? I mean, you come through the door, you will let them in there. Knock, knock. Yes, who are you? Hi, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, come on in. Or, no, who the hell are you? You know, because you don't look like you can help here. You're going to miss someone else. Just come in legally. The wall is to make sure that people don't come in illegally.
I just think, and maybe I have, too much faith in humanity here, but I legitimately believe that if these people, I know some illegal immigrants.
I also thought about it, but that's not the point.
And they're terrific people.
That's
and
not
they're
the point.
Wonderful people. And I truly believe that if our country had allowed them to come in legally, they would have.
That's not the point. They could be the greatest people in the world. But the point is, if that's true, come in legally. Why wouldn't you come in legally?
I believe that...
We can't just let everybody walk in willy-nilly and not know who's here. I mean, that's what I say. That's like opening up the doors to your house and allowing everybody to flow through, and you don't know who's walking in your house. I mean, they could be the nicest people in the world, but then they could also be, eating you out of house and home.
Yeah.
A country without borders isn't even a country anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Laws, America being a republic, everything's based on laws. So if you start eliminating law, then what do you govern yourself by?
I mean, you said it. With a country without borders isn't a country.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't believe that we should completely, everyone can come in, but I do think...
But they are. That's the problem. We had over 22 million illegals. We don't even know. It could be 30 million. We have no idea how many illegals are in this country right now. We don't know. And then we don't know if they're terrorists. We don't know what we don't know. And then they could come over with diseases with tuberculosis is skyrocketing. All these different things are how do we handle them? I mean, we got Americans living on the street. Shouldn't we take care of them first?
I don't think it should be an either or.
Well, again, we got American veterans living on the street. You should, in order to, before you could take anybody into your house, you're going to have your own house in order. I mean, if your house is a mess and it's overrun, you haven't got any food in the refrigerator, you can't very well go out and invite anybody in and say, come on in, I'll feed you if you don't have any food for yourself.
Well,
you have to get your own house in order first in order to help other people. If you just start inviting people in, then everybody suffers. You have to get your own house in order first, and then you can help other people. I understand your good heart, but hey, look. So I mean, that's great. I mean, that's what we are. We're a generous nation, as I mentioned. We give more than all the other nations in the world combined. We're the best nation. Why do they come here? Because we are the best nation. Why are they fighting to come here? Because we are the most generous. We do have the biggest heart. So we are who we are. We're not trying to, hurt anybody, but we don't want them to hurt us.
Well, but what about the splitting families up thing?
Well, look, if you're coming, we don't know if these kids are coming over being child trafficked, because there are a lot of them now just.
So we should split them up?
We have to know if they're who they are.
I don't understand how splitting them up accomplishes that.
Listen to me. There are a lot right now. They're snatching kids from families down there and bringing them up, saying, "Yeah, this is my child." We don't know that. And then they're selling these kids for sex slavery. We have to separate them, do the DNA test to find out if that's really the parent. I mean,
I don't. I see what you're saying. I mean, do you have a credible source for the sex slavery thing? Because
yes.
What is it?
I've spoken to many border agents out here. I spoke to custom agents out here just last 2 weeks ago, undercover customs agents. I speak to, a lot of policymakers out here, government people, policemen, you name it. I'm a magnet for military and police. I mean, I'm Uncle Sam, right?
But so, I mean, don't you think those people are somewhat self-selecting, though?
No. I mean, they have to make sure these people are who say what they say they are.
Sure.
I mean, again, there's a lot of child trafficking, sex slave child trafficking. So, I mean, the coyotes are making a ton of money off of this. I mean, they can just grab any kid and say, hey, So we have to make sure that these children are who they say they are. The parents are who they say they are. Otherwise, we just let them in willy-nilly. Next thing you know, that kid's being sold to who knows what. So, you gotta be careful here. You gotta, who's coming in. You just can't let them all in.
Okay. How do you... I mean, there are miles and miles of border with Mexico, right? There's a huge amount of border, and a lot of it is just like desert that's completely unpassable.
Yeah. Doesn't need a wall.
Why?
Doesn't need a wall.
All right, well, thank you. I mean, you've given me a lot to think about.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the conversation, because I think this is what we need in order to go ahead and, get past the misunderstanding, because the media lies to us.
I mean, I completely realize that, I grew up pretty liberal, so, we all have, cultural...
Yeah, and they understand that the divide is like it's never been before.
Yeah.
And the media is so separated now, and the media is mostly liberal. And they don't tell us the truth. Here's my rule of thumb. If they're taking commercial money, they're beholden to the advertisers. So they're never going to tell you the whole truth. So you want to listen to people that are independent, people that are not taking, even Fox News, half their commercials are pharmaceutical. So, let's say if a pharmaceutical comes out with a good vaccine or something that's going to hurt people, kills 50 people, they're not going to report on it. They're not going to tell you the truth any more than the bias coming from any.
Sure, yeah.
So I listen to everything on TV with a big grain of salt. I don't care where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So you want to be more diverse. Go to a lot of independent YouTube, reporters, even like InfoWars. Even go to them and listen to them, and then listen to the other side. You're intelligent young people, and decide for yourself. and don't just listen to one side all the time. Otherwise, you'll become biased. You know, and that's why thank you again for coming by and, and talking like this. Because
I was like, hearing other. I wanted. It's my first time to the South, so I wanted to kind of hear people out.
Of course.
Right. I gotta go.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So, enjoy that one. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button and everything. And I think I got through to the kid. He was receptive. Him and his little girl there. So I want to thank you again for stopping by, and I will see you the next time on the streets.